Hello and welcome to the UN Habitat Masterclass. My name is Sam Drabble and I work with water and sanitation for the urban poor. Sanitation and wastewater management are core to the health and well-being of individuals, cities, societies and whole environmental ecosystems. But despite the SDG goal of universal access by 2030, sanitation continues to lag behind. Why this continued deficit? There are many contributing factors. Rapid urbanization and industrialization have increased wastewater production, overwhelming existing treatment facilities. Infrastructure has failed to keep pace with urban population growth. Sanitation is often given low political priority, with the result that in many countries, sanitation systems have been characterized by capacity gaps, inadequate and inefficient financial resource allocation, and weak accountability. These issues are compounded by the fact that governments still lack critical data on the status of wastewater and fecal sludge treatment, both globally and at the country level. Estimates have found that reliable data on wastewater treatment covers just 18% of the global population. There are many cities across regions taking effective measures to improve sanitation, but the scale of the challenge remains high. For example, the data that we do have suggests that globally, only a third of total wastewater receives any form of treatment. SDG 6 sets ambitious targets with investment challenges for many countries. However, the costs of inaction are even higher. Poor sanitation and wastewater management is devastating for human health and the environment. These impacts are root causes of huge economic losses. Conversely, the benefits are vast. Aside from economic gains, improved sanitation enhances well-being, security, dignity, and quality of life, with especially significant benefits for women and girls. There is emerging evidence too that effective wastewater and fecal sludge management can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And there is growing understanding that safely treated wastewater can be viewed as a resource, not only a waste stream. But to make real progress, sanitation must be viewed as a public good, just like education or healthcare. National and local governments must prioritize sanitation as a public service. In line with citywide inclusive sanitation principles, this involves clear responsibilities, strong accountability frameworks, fit-for-purpose resource planning and management, and strong data management systems. Together, these elements provide the foundation for the provision of safe, equitable, and sustainable services to everyone, including the most vulnerable. However, every city occupies a unique context, which will define the public responses required. Contextual features, such as climate and population density, must determine technology choices and the mix of services that is appropriate. This means there is a need for greater clarity and better guidance on what a public service approach to sanitation involves in practice across different contexts. In this UN Habitat Masterclass, we will shed light on the current situation and the state of the art of global wastewater and fecal sludge management. We will also explore the institutional, regulatory, and financial frameworks that support these systems, recognizing that technological innovation alone isn't enough without the right structures in place. The Masterclass draws upon the UN Habitat Global Report for Sanitation and Wastewater Management in Cities and Human Settlements, which in turn synthesizes data from 18 cities across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin America. Drawing on this global research and grounded in real-world examples, we will focus on varied urban contexts covering a range of city sizes and socioeconomic conditions. We will examine both on-site and sewered sanitation systems, looking across the full sanitation service chain and including wastewater, fecal sludge, and stormwater. In doing so, we will provide policymakers, regulators, service providers, and urban planners, as well as practitioners and researchers, with guidance on the level and types of action required to drive change. We will do this in 6 modules. In modules 2 and 3, we will provide introductory context to this critically important topic. We will outline the global challenge of sanitation in urban contexts in Module 2, before presenting the vast impacts of poor sanitation and wastewater management in Module 3. In Module 4, we will draw from primary data collected for the global report to present a unique snapshot of how wastewater and fecal sludge treatment systems are performing globally. In Modules 5 and 6, we turn to the systems level responses that can help drive forward service improvements. We will explain why and how resource planning and management, responsibilities, accountability, and data management are essential for successfully delivering and sustaining citywide inclusive sanitation services. And finally, in Module 7, we will complete the masterclass by highlighting new innovations in areas such as climate resilience, before synthesizing key recommendations to present the way forward. But before moving into these modules, let's recap on some key starting principles on which this masterclass is based. Firstly, the need for action is clear. As cities grow, so does the importance of effective sanitation, which is core to the health and well-being of individuals, cities, societies, and whole environmental ecosystems. Secondly, sanitation is a public good and must be organised into public service systems. Contextual features must shape the service approach. Responses must go beyond infrastructure development to include clear responsibilities, strong accountability, and fit-for-purpose resource planning and management. Only with these foundations in place can we achieve safe, equitable, and sustainable sanitation services and make meaningful progress towards global health and environmental goals. With these principles front of mind, this UN Habitat Masterclass aims to provide the rationale for a strong and urgent public response to the urban sanitation challenge.